This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Person of interest in Denhamton mom's killing reports to cops. One of three people named as persons of interest in connection with the death of Devonese Nelson has turned himself over to the police. Tevin Cross, the uncle of Nelson's boyfriend Eric Brando Murdoch, on Monday went to detectives probing the death of Nelson, who was the mother of a 2-month-old baby. He reportedly turned up at the Denhamton police station with a community member. He is currently being interviewed by detectives. The boyfriend and another person of interest identified late Monday as Alejandro Brandon Murdoch, 17, are still being sought. They are being asked to also turn themselves over to the police immediately. Nelson, otherwise called Pinky, a student from North Street, Kingston, was shot dead at her boyfriend's home in Denhamton, West Kingston on Sunday night. Her baby had been admitted to hospital. Prior to her death, it is understood. The police said residents reported hearing explosions and summoned members of the security forces. Upon arrival of the police, a joint search of the area was conducted with the military, during which they were alerted to an apartment at Kings Heights on Water Street. The joint team, upon entering the premises, saw the door to the apartment ajar and made entry inside. Upon entering, Nelson's body was seen lying on its side, partially nude in a pool of blood. The body had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the left side of the face. Nelson was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, where she was confirmed dead. 1 dead, 2 injured in Grange Hill bar shooting. 3 people were shot, 1 fatally at Mint Road Bar in Grange Hill, Westmoreland on Monday night. The deceased has been identified as a 26-year-old Oisin Hamilton from the community. A man and a woman were also injured. The incident happened about 9:30 p.m. According to initial reports from the police, the 3 people were among a group of patrons at a bar when gunmen traveling in a motorcar shot at them. It is unclear if the armed men entered the bar or if it was a drive-by shooting. The police were alerted and the injured were taken to the hospital, where Hamilton was pronounced dead. Police seek public's help to reunite elderly man with a family. The St. Andrew North police are seeking the public's help to reunite Lloyd Jones with his family. The elderly man was found wandering in Renfield District, Gordontown, St. Andrew, on Monday, June 27, around 8:30 p.m. He was unable to provide an address or any other information. Anyone with information that can be used to identify him or his family is being asked to contact the Gordontown Police at 876-702-1870, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Taxi operators opposed to toll increase. Taxi operators are opposed to the move by the operators of Highway 2000 to increase the toll for use of the highway effective this Saturday. The Jamaica Association of Transport Owners and Operators has declared that its members, who are already struggling to stay in business with the surge in fuel prices, will be hit hard by the hike in the toll to access the highway. The president of the association, Louis Barton, told the news that a toll increase is likely to result in more members exiting the public transport sector. He said that taxi operators are not ruling out protest action if the toll increase is granted.
They have already started to withdraw. Even for the last fare increase, a number of operators gave up their license. So that is an alternative that will take place. I'm saying, yes, all of us face the same price increase, the same toll increase. But the difference with transport operators is that we have no alternative. If you are a private owner and you have to drive to work or drive to fun, then you can pool with your friend and just use one car. But with a transport operator who drives in a particular area to make his money, he has no alternative. He has to use the gas. he has to pay the toll. So there's no alternative for him. So the alternative that he faces is to give up the business. The action could be that they withdraw service. The action could be that they just withdraw from the business, or they have protests. Anything is possible, Jordan, because it is a crisis situation right now. I'm thinking of for 8 years we have not received a fare increase, and then now they increase the toll. And the toll is set to go up every year or every 2 years, depending on the economy. But our price, our fare takes 8 years for us to balance our life. We cannot continue like this.
Prosecution to seek death penalty in Clarendon massacre. The prosecution is to seek the death penalty in the case of the man charged in the killing of a mother and her 4 children in Cocopies, Clarendon. The notice was served on Roisin Barnett when he appeared before the Home Circuit Court this afternoon. 31-year-old Kamisha Wright, Kimanda Smith, 15, Cheryl Lee Smith, 12, Raphael Smith, 5, and 23-month-old Kishon Henry Jr. were discovered inside their home with chop wounds and their throats slashed last week, Tuesday. Barnett, 23, fled the area to Wilson Run in Trelawney. He was later apprehended in the parish. Barnett is a cousin of the victims. Toddler in St. Catherine traffic video safely with a father. The police are reporting that the incident where a toddler was seen wandering on a road in St. Catherine happened on Monday, and that the child was quickly reunited with family. The incident happened in the Macooks Pen community of Old Harbor Road. It was captured on video and shared on social media platforms. In the video, the child was seen in the road wearing diapers and carrying a bottle. Cops who were passing by intervened and removed the child from the road. Deputy Superintendent of Police Delia Garrick from the police's Corporate Communications Unit today told the news that when investigators spoke with the child's father, he explained that they were at home when he locked the door and went to the back of the house to get something. He said the man further explained that when he returned, the little one had disappeared. He then ventured to the road where he was met by the cops who had retrieved the child. It was noted that the father was encouraged by the cops to enhance the security of his house. It would appear that there wasn't anything that would show that there was neglect that would have resulted. We are very happy that it had a happy ending, Garrick said. Ocherius Higgler shot dead in drive-by. A Higgler was shot dead in a drive-by shooting in Ocherius, St. Anne on Monday night. He has been identified as a 30-year-old Krishna Gibbs of a Three Hill address in St. Mary. Information reaching the news is that about 9:14 p.m., Gibbs was standing along a roadway near the town center when men traveling in a Toyota Probox motor car opened a gunfire, hitting him. They fled the scene in the vehicle. The police were summoned and Gibbs was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing, the police said. Security guard accused of Portland ATM robbery offered $2 million bail. Calvin Hill, the security guard charged in connection with an April 23 explosion at a Scotiabank ATM in Portland, has been offered bail in the sum of $2 million. He was brought before the Portland Parish Court on Tuesday to answer to charges including arson, housebreaking, creating public mischief, larceny as a servant, and the falsification of accounts. As a condition of bail, he must surrender all his travel documents. There is also a stop order against him at all ports of entry and exit, and he is to report to the Port Antonio Police Station every Thursday. He is not to in any way attempt to interfere with the ongoing investigation. He has not yet taken up bail. Hill, who is represented by attorney at law Carl MacDonald, has been scheduled to return to court on July 26. The 31-year-old security guard was charged on May 5 in connection with an explosion which left him injured and at least $12 million in damage. A section of the bank which houses 2 ATMs was destroyed in the early morning blast. On arrival, officers observed fire and smoke coming from the front of the building. Further investigations revealed that the 2 ATMs were also destroyed during the explosion. The Port Antonio Fire Department was contacted and a team of 7 firefighters responded and extinguished the blaze. Men freed of charges tied to home invasion robbery. Two men who were accused of being part of a group that robbed and beat a since disbarred attorney at gunpoint during a 2018 home invasion attack have been freed of criminal charges. Dwayne Singh and Leon Grant walked free from the gun court on Monday after they were found not guilty of illegal possession of firearm, robbery with aggravation, and wounding with intent. The attorney was banned from practicing in Jamaica arising from an unrelated incident. Singh and Grant, who are both from Cassava Peace in St. Andrew, spent over 6 months in custody after their arrest in December 2018. Prosecutors alleged that on September 20, 2018, 3 men, one armed with a gun and 2 others with knives, barged into the former attorney's home. They bound his hands and feet, beat him up, and ransacked the home before escaping with several items. But Singh and Grant insisted from the onset that they were being falsely accused, according to their attorney, Kemar Robinson. And according to Robinson, there were multiple compelling pieces of evidence that should have prevented his clients from being arrested and charged. Chief among them, he said, was that DNA analysis during the police investigation excluded both men as suspects. Robinson also disclosed that surveillance footage obtained from an ATM showed that neither Singh nor Grant was the person who attempted to withdraw money from the former attorney's bank account. Further, he said the victim indicated to police investigators that he could not describe the 2 men who were armed with knives because he was focused on the man with the gun. Singh and Grant were accused of being the 2 men who were carrying knives, but Robinson said despite the victim's statement to the police, Singh and Grant were pointed out during an identification parade, which formed the basis for the criminal charges. There was no probable cause to charge the men as the complainant had not provided any details whatsoever about the 2 men, Robinson said during an interview on Tuesday. There was absolutely no reason why they were made suspects. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.